Alright, welcome back to the Retro Sports Gamer channel. Today, I'm going to do a complete roster breakdown of NBA Jam TE. And this is on the eve, not the eve, but for an upcoming tournament is the reason I'm doing this at the High Noon Saloon in Madison, Wisconsin on April 7th. I believe the tournament starts at 6 o'clock. So, I'm just going through the roster to make sure everybody's prepared for what teams to pick and what some of the advantages and disadvantages are of the teams. So first things first, I'm going to go into the options and I'm going to play with tag mode on for purposes of this stream because this tournament's 2-on-2. And to be completely honest with you, even though I have the 4-player adapter for the Sega Genesis, I've never played this version of the game 2-on-2, but that's the best way to do it because we know this game has rubber band AI where the computer player will make the game closer by getting steals, going for dunks, shooting threes when you start to pull ahead of the computer. So in the special features menu, I hope at this tournament ran by Segathon, we turn this tournament mode on. And then that will be that. The other thing I wanted to do is play the game on very hard or extra hard. I don't usually put myself through that playing the computer. It's not the best thing in the world to do to yourself because the computer will be extremely hard, especially at the end of the game. So it's most likely going to come down to the last play. So head-to-head matchup, I'll put in my initials. I don't know if the battery memory is still working on this game. And it is, 3-1. Let's peep these rosters. That's what I'm here for, to peep these rosters. So this is going to be your complete roster breakdown of this game. The chat box is open. I'll do some respondent as I go through these rosters. So what teams are tournament ready? To be honest, since you get mostly the best 3 players on every team, you could really make a case for any team in the game, but there's going to be advantages and disadvantages, and you should know those. What I really like about NBA Jam TE versus the original NBA Jam is there's now 8 different attributes for each player that affects how they play on the court, and this is what's so great about a game like NBA Jam and also like Tecmo Super Bowl, is the attributes of each guy really matter to how the guy's going to play on the court, especially in this version of the game. There's other versions like Atari Jaguar where, you know, they don't really shoot threes the way they should, even though their attributes are high. So there are some differences there. So let's start with the Golden State Warriors. Gugliotta and Sprewell, they're both at the normal size height. Now, rule of thumb, if you're going to have a short guy on the team, he better be fast, good at 3-pointers, and hopefully good at stealing. If he hits those 3 criteria, you'll be able to use him. Now, Gugliotta and Sprewell are both at the normal size height. They're only got 2 heights, the short height and the normal size. Gugliotta's got some good stats. I like his power. His speed's a 7, 3.7, dunk is 7. So he's a really good player. Sprewell, also not as fast as I think he should be, only a 6, but great dunking with an 8 and a 7 3-pointer. And then if you go to their bench, you got Rene Cycli. Cycli's slow. He's only a 3 speed. He's a 3 and 3-pointers, 8 dunk, and 6 power. So he's also a center, so obviously he's going to be at your taller height. So the Golden State Warriors are a team you could use in the tournament, and they have some strengths, and they're pretty good overall. LA Clippers, this is a team that was so bad in the 90s. They got Pooh Richardson, which actually has pretty good stats. He's an 8 speed, 8 3-pointers, and 8 in passing. So what the passing stat will do is obviously make the passes go faster across the court as you pass to your teammate. He's only a 2 in dunks, so he's going to have trouble getting those dunks where you see the camera flashes. You know, they kind of look like stars flashing, but they're camera flashing. Their camera's flashing at the dunks. You also got Roberts. Pooh Richardson's going to be your short height. Roberts is your tall height. He's an 8 speed, 5 power, 5 3-pointers, an 8 steal, And then you got Sealy on the bench. He's not very good. He's 1 steal, 2 in clutch, only a 4 3-pointers, 6 in speed, and he should be at your tall height too. Now, excuse me if I mess up a few of the heights on these players. I'm doing this based solely off memory, and I should be pretty accurate. So LA Lakers, yeah, you wouldn't pick the Clips, neither would I. So I would rule them out from the tournament for sure. Don't use them if you're playing in the high noon saloon NBA Jam TE 2-on-2 tournament. Vlade Divac's got the height. He's a 3 in speed, 5 in 3-pointers, which is good for his center. He's going to be at your tall height. He's good in clutch, and his power is not as good as I would like it to be. Peeler has no power, but he has a solid 7 3-pointer, 8 speed. He's going to be at your average height. And then you got Nick Van Exel on the bench. He's a 7 speed, only a 4 3-pointers. That should be higher, but it's not. He's got a 5 dunk, which is good for him. Only a 2 steal. So, honestly, the Lakers, they don't have bad players, but their attributes aren't good. So, I would say rule LA Lakers out if you're playing in the tournament. Don't use them. Phoenix Suns. Now, Phoenix Suns, they don't get the benefit of having Charles Barkley because of contractual agreement for Barkley's shut up in Jam. So, he's only in some of the original NBA Jam games. Not NBA Jam TE. And let's see, we got Danny Manning, 7 3-pointers, 7 speed, 7 dunk, 6 power. I like that for Danny Manning, 7 clutch. Danny Manning's going to be your average height. Vlade and Anthony Peeler for the Lakers, yeah, that's who you probably put in. Kevin Johnson, 8 speed, so he's got the speed, 7 3-pointers, only a 1 in power, 2 dunk, 8 passing, 7 steal. So this is a solid lineup, these two guys in at the same time. And then you got Dan Marley coming off the bench. He's got that 8 3-pointers and 9 clutch. That's where he shines. He's only a 5 speed, 5 power, but he's pretty average at all the other statistics, 4 dunk. So you can get by with the Phoenix Suns. I would say this is a tournament team for sure. Now the other thing I want to bring up is there's also something else you'll see on this at between quarters is an injury. There's an injury counter below each player. As a player accrues injuries, he's going to actually move slower on the court. So you want to take out the players that are injured so they heal up for the next quarter, and then they'll be back to their normal speed. So that's why it's important you look at all 3 players on each team. And I don't expect there's going to be any extended rosters in the tournament. That would mean that all the games would have all 27 teams beat, and I don't expect that to happen, so we're probably going with 3 players on each team. Go Magic. Adam's all about the Magic. Alright, Portland Trailblazers. Me and my brother actually did a stream where we tried to use the Trailblazers. I didn't like them too much. Drexler's actually not bad. He's going to be all about dunking, 7 speed, 9 dunks. He does have a 6 3-pointer, powers of 4, and he's pretty much middle of the road at his other stats. Cliff Robinson, his biggest traits are power and block. He's a 9 at each, so he's going to be a defensive force. He's going to be able to push down guys easier. So if you have a higher power, then you'll be able to, when you actually go to push people, you'll have a more likelihood of getting a steal. So then on the bench, they got Terry Porter. Terry Porter is going to be your only guy that's a small height on this team. He's pretty good, though. He has an 8 speed, 8 3-pointers, 8 steal, 8 pass. So he's a good short guy. He meets all the criteria. So the Portland Trailblazers, even though me and Matt didn't do well with them, they are a tournament-ready team. Seattle Supersonics. Here's another tournament-ready team. And I don't even have to see who's on the bench, even though I know it's Detlef Schrempf. But Sean Kemp is a monster in this game. He's got an 8 speed, 8 power, 8 block, 9 dunk. And his 3 points aren't even bad with a 5. And his clutch is a 6. So whoever is the superstar player on your team, the better actual physical player of the game, you might want to take Sean Kemp. But Gary Payton, he didn't get the short height. He's about 6'4", point guard, so he gets the regular height, which is good for him. His power is only a 5, but he's got an 8 speed, 7 steal for the glove. Come on, that should be a 9. 8 pass for Gary Payton, 4 clutch. And then on the bench, you have Detlef Schrempf. Detlef Schrempf's going to be at your tall height as well. He's kind of slow, though. 3 speed, solid at 3, 6 3-pointers, 8 power. So these two guys, if they're on the court at the same time, will be pushing guys around. 6 block. So he's pretty good overall. His weakness is speed. The overall team weakness is 3-pointers, but they're average. So if they get on fire, they're going to be draining them. Yeah, Supersonics. Kemp and Payton, you can't go wrong with that. Now we got Mitch Richmond and Spud Webb, the Sacramento Kings. The Kings, Richmond's very good because he's got 7 speed, 8 power for Richmond, which is quite high. I'm surprised about that because he's only a shooting guard. 9 3-pointers, so he's a good player, and 7 clutch. And then Spud Webb, he's gonna be a shorter player, obviously, because he's a 5'5" guard. 9 speed, 8 dunks. That's pretty much his whole game. His power's a 2. His steal's not even good. So he's not a defensive player. And then we got Simmons on the bench. Simmons is a regular height. 8 speed, 8 steal. Those are his best attributes. He's average overall. So the Kings also are a tournament team if you have a player who could utilize Spud Webb well with just his speed and dunking ability. Now let's go up to the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas Mavericks, we got Jamal Mashburn and Jim Jackson. This is a solid lineup. 2 young players at the time. Jamal Mashburn, 8 speed, 8 power, 8 3-pointers, 7 dunk. That's great for NBA Jam statistics. And then Jimmy Jackson has that 8 speed, 6 3-pointer, 9 pass. Also a solid 5 power. And only a 3 block. So, and then we take a look at their bench, and this is where I would say you might want to stay away from the Mavericks because Davis with a 1 speed, he's all 3 of these guys are going to be your normal height in this game, and a 1 3-pointer and only a 3 dunk. So you can't afford to have Davis on the court. So I'm sorry, but you got to skip the Dallas Mavericks. They're not a tournament ready team. It sucks to be not a tournament ready team in NBA Jam. And here we are, the Dikembe Mutombo Denver Nuggets. Of course, the 9 block, the higher your block rating is, the more likelihood you'll be able to block the ball when you go up to block dunks. He's only a 2 steal, 8 power, which is good. 5 speed's pretty good for a center, 8 dunk. And then you got Abdul Rauf with an 8 speed, 9 3-pointer, 6 steals. So he's good. He's going to be your shorter player on the team. He's also an 8 clutch. And then you got LaFonso Ellis on the bench. Honestly, LaFonso Ellis should have better ratings, but he's not that great. He's average at everything except steal, clutch, and pass. So he's not too good of a guy off the bench. Denver Nuggets, they're a fringe tournament-ready team. If I'm playing in the tournament, I'm probably not using them. I don't like their speed overall and 3-point shooting. So you might want to skip the Denver Nuggets. Yeah, Mashburn and Jim Jackson. That's what the 90s are all about. I remember, too, Mitch Richmond, he did win an MVP in the All-Star game. That Houston Rockets, they were great back when this game came out. This is a tournament-ready team. Olajuwon is an absolute monster. 8 speed, 9 power, 9 dunk, 9 block, 9 clutch. So he has 5 ratings in the green. He's only not good at 3-pointers and steals. He's got a 4 pass, which is alright. And the cool thing about the Rockets, all their players are normal height. Otis Thorpe, he's got nothing in the green, but he's got nothing in yellow or red, or yellow in this game. So he's got no bad statistics. He's got a 7 power, 7 dunk, 5 speed. And then Big Shot Bob, Robert Ory, your clutch guy. He's actually really good in this game. His lowest rating is a 6, and it's at 3-pointer, steal, and block. Clutch rating, it's a 7. Obviously, at the clutch rating, at the end of quarters, your player will actually be more likely to make buzzer beater. So he's also a 7 speed, 8 dunk, 8 power. This is a monster lineup, Olajuwon and Ori. You don't want to mess with those two guys. They are tournament ready. All right, Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota Timberwolves got Isaiah Ryder. He's got some dunking ability, 9 speed, 9 dunk, 4 and 3-pointers, 6 power, 5 steal, 5 block, 5 clutch, 5 pass. So he's pretty much a go up and dunk kind of guy, which is really good for NBA Jam. Christian Laettner, he's a 5 speed, 6 3-pointers. He really has no attribute that stands out. He's a 0 in pass. That's not very good. But both of these guys are your normal height, and so is David West. He's a 5 speed, 9 3-pointer, which is good because I need some shooting, 9 pass, and also a 9 clutch. Power rating's not too good. Timberwolves are another fringe-ready team. I like the lineup of Isaiah Ryder and West on the court at the same time. Ryder can get open easily for his own dunks, and then David West could spot up in the corner. You know what? I don't know if it is David West. I'll have to check on that. I might be thinking of the current David West in the NBA. And you think the T-Wolves? The chat thinks the T-Wolves suck. All right. San Antonio Spurs is a tournament-ready team. David Robinson, Dennis Rodman, that's a defensive force on the court. You got 2 guys. Robinson's got 8 power, 8 dunk, 7 speed, super fast for a center, 9 block, 8 clutch, loving that. And Rodman's just a force to be reckoned with on defense, 8 speed, 9 power, 7 steal. So the higher steal attribute is, the more likely they are to steal the ball when you just go for a steal, not a push. And then on the bench, you got Sean Elliott. Sean Elliott's good all around. His biggest weakness is his power at 4, but he's still a 7 speed, 6 3-pointer, 6 dunk. If they do have a weakness, it is their 3-point shooting, but you could get by with Sean Elliott's 6. You can't go wrong with the Spurs, that's right. And then Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz were a dominant team in the 90s. Never got over the hump because of the Chicago Bulls, but they made the finals twice. And here you have the connection, the mailman from Stockton. Stockton, all-time leader in assists and steals. 8 speed, 9 3-pointers for Stockton. But he's got a big fat 0 in power, dunk, and block. But he's green in every other area. Also in steal, pass, clutch. So you could love using Stockton. And Malone, he's just a big power dunker. Not too bad in threes with a 4, 8 block, 8 clutch. And Stockton's going to be your small height on this team. Also on San Antonio, everyone is the normal height. Hornacek actually gets the normal height on this team. He's pretty good too. He's a good backup. He's got 6 speed, 8 3-pointers, so he could run around. At a fair speed and hit some threes, but he's also a 0 dunk. So the Jazz's biggest weakness is their dunking. Malone's the only guy that's going to be doing the dunking on this team, but they got good 3-point shooting, so they are a tournament-ready team. Yep, butter and toast, Stockton and Malone. And then we got the rookie team. I'm not going to go over these because this team should be outlawed because it's got 10 players or so, 10 to 12 players, different combinations. Jason Kidd, Grant Hill's good. They got Jalen Rose. And then you got guys like Glenn Robinson, Eddie Jones. But I'm not going to go through all their stats, but I'll just go through so you can see the different combos. They got Eric Montress. He was supposed to be good. Dumas really never did much in the NBA. And then you got Curly. Curly didn't really do much. There's Glenn Robinson. We know Big dog Glenn Robinson did some. Eddie Jones. I think that's Khalid Reeves. Mobley. Daniel Marshall. Daniel Marshall had a nice NBA career. Yinka Dare. I'm not sure which Williams that is. You have Thompson. Wright. And then the last team, actually, both of these guys had good NBA careers. Wesley Person and Aaron McKee. All right, yeah, rookies of a solid team. All right, let's look at the Eastern Conference now. We got Mookie Blaylock, Kevin Willis. These are the 2 guys. Starting off, you got Blaylock with the 8 speed, 8 steal, 5 3-pointers. He's going to be your smaller height. I wish his 3-pointers were higher. Willis is only a 6 speed, 8 dunk though. Not too good at 3-pointers, but he could push people around with his power. and his block rating. So he'll be playing some defense. And then on the bench, they got Stacey Augmon. And Stacey Augmon's going to be your normal height. 8 speed, 7 3-pointers, 7 power, 7 dunk. He has all the things to be good on an NBA Jam team. Atlanta Hawks, I would say you could get by with them in the tournament. Their weakness is going to be 3-point shooting, just because Blaylock's only at a 5. Augmon's going to be your 3-point shooter. And then Kevin Willis is only a 3. So they're a pretty solid squad. Yep. Hey, what's up, Troy? We're live with NBA Jam T. I'm going through the rosters. We got Deontay Jank. And here we are. Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte Hornets are good in every version of NBA Jam. Alonzo Mourning, he's got a 7 speed, 8 dunk, 9 power, 9 block, 9 clutch. And he's still even good at threes with a 5 pass, 4 steal. Alonzo Mourning's a total package, and so is Grandmama Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson with an 8 speed, 9 power, 9 dunk, 5 3-pointer, 3 steal, 3 pass. So he has a little bit more of a weakness than Mourning, but this is one of your most dominant combos, and I don't think they should be outlawed in a tournament, and I've seen that happen in tournaments before, because they got Muggsy Bogues on the bench, and Muggsy Bogues, he's going to be at your smaller height. Obviously, Mourning and Johnson are going to be normal height. Muggsy Bogues is a 9 speed and 7 3-pointers, also good at steals, 9, and an 8 pass. Muggsy Bogues is only 5'3", but fortunately for him, NBA Jam, there's only 2 heights, so he's just going to be at your shorter height. And his attributes are good for a small guy, so Charlotte Hornets are obviously a tournament-ready team. And then my hometown team, the Chicago Bulls. It was too bad Jordan wanted the likeness to his name because he missed all the NBA Jam games. He was in Tecmo Super NBA Basketball and a few games before that, and then we didn't see him until 2000s, probably like NBA Street on the PS2. And Scottie Pippen, he's a dominant player in NBA Jam. Everybody knows that. 8 speed, 9 steal, 9 dunk, 6 and 3s. His one weakness is power. He's only a 3 in power. BJ Armstrong, 8 speed, 9 steal, 9 clutch. He's a 0 dunk, 0 power, 0 block. But he's good in speed and 3-pointers. And if the Bulls have a weakness, it is their power, because Kukoc is only a 4 power. He's going to be at your normal height. B.J. Armstrong's going to be small, and Pippen's at your normal height. 7 block for Kukoc, but he's good clutch, 9. And the Croatian sensation has a 9 in passing, too. So, Bulls are tournament ready. Cleveland Cavs, they actually had a solid team in the 90s. Mark Price has an 8 speed, 9 3-pointer, 9 steal. He's going to be a short guy, but those ratings are good. Also, 8 in clutch. Brad Daugherty, center type. Very fast for a center. He's 7 speed, 6 power, so not as quite as a force. 8 dunk. I actually like Brad Daugherty, Mark Price combo. And then you got Gerald Wilkins on the bench. He's a 9 blocking, which I'm surprised about that, because if it's Gerald Wilkins, he was only a shooting guard. So 6 speed, 6 power, 3-pointers, 3. He's all right to bring in, not too much. I would say you can use the Cavs in a tournament. So Detroit Pistons, we got Detroit basketball, and we got Joe Dumars with the 8 speed, 7 3-pointers, only a 3 power, 4 steal. He's going to be short, so Terry Mills is going to be at the normal height, but he's good at pretty much everything, good all-around player. When they get the advantage of the rookie team, when you beat the game, him and Grant Hill are a good combo because they're just good at everything, but you don't have Grant Hill until you beat the game. And then your guy off the bench is Oliver Miller. And I don't know how Oliver Miller, one of the more heavy-set guys in the NBA, got a 7 speed, but he did. 6 power, 6 3-pointers. He got some very, very generous attributes. A team of Oliver Miller and Terry Mills isn't too bad. I would say skip the Pistons in the tournament. You're not gonna use them. They're not too bad overall, but they just don't have anyone who's great at anything. So I would say skip the Detroit Pistons. Mark Price and Brad Daugherty are the dorkiest team in the game. It's pretty funny. All right, the Indiana Pacers. I always liked Reggie Miller in the 90s. I liked his cockiness on the court and the way he could shoot the three ball. And in this game, as opposed to the original NBA Jam, he's actually at 9 and 3-pointers the way he should be. Reggie Miller's also a 7 speed, 4 power, 5 dunks, so he can get some dunks going. And he's an 8 clutch. And those are all good ratings for Reggie Miller. Rick Smits, these guys are both going to be at your normal height. Rick Smits is an 8 power, 2 speed, 2 3-pointers, 4 dunk, 8 block, 3 pass, 6 clutch rating for Rick Smits. So he's just kind of slow. And then you got Derek McKee on the bench, 3 speed, 2 3-pointer. I don't like that, 6 power. So Derek McKee, honestly, he's going to be at your normal height, but he's not too good coming off the bench. So even though the Pacers got Reggie Miller, I would say they're a fringe tournament team. But the good thing about them is they have a guy who could shoot threes, and they're all at normal height guys. All right, Milwaukee Bucks, Vin Baker and Todd Day. Vin Baker, 7 speed, 4 3-pointers, 7 dunk, 9 block. He's only a 2 power, though, even though he was a power forward, so that kind of sucks. Day is just average at everything. He's best at passing, 6, and his speed's a 6. And then on the bench, you got Eric Murdoch. He's going to be your smaller height. Todd Day and Baker will be your normal height. He's good speed, good 3-pointers, not too good at anything else. Milwaukee Bucks are also a team you could skip if you're playing in the tournament. They're just not good enough. All right, Boston Celtics. Dominique Wilkins, late in his career, and D. Brown. Dominique Wilkins is an 8 speed, 9 dunk. That's great for NBA Jam. He also has a 6 3-pointer, so he could shoot that ball a little bit. And he's 8 block. That's really good for Dominique Wilkins, and also an 8 clutch. His weakness is power. He's only a 3, and D. Brown is only a 1 in power. But he has the speed, 7 3-pointers, 8 dunk. So these two guys can shoot threes and dunk the ball. D. Brown is going to be at your shorter height. And on the bench, they got another guy from Croatia, Dino Raja. He's only a 5 speed, but 9 3-pointers. That's really high for him, actually. And he's only a 5 power, so power is a little bit of a weakness for the team. He's an 8 steal. But I would say overall the Celtics are a team you could use in the tournament. With Wilkins and D. Brown, you could go up for dunks. You got speed. And then Dino Raja can come off the bench, normal height. Hit some 3-pointers for you. All right, Miami Heat. They're actually a really good team in this game. Their one weakness is power, but with Glenn Rice, you get speed and 3-pointers and also dunk 6, which is good. And then he has an 8 clutch at the end of the game. Now, Harold Miner, this is a guy they called Baby Jordan, and he never lived up to that hype. But he's a 9 speed, 9 dunk. That's excellent for NBA Jam. He's also a solid 5 and 3s. And his only weakness is power, because he's a 7 steal, 6 blocks, so he can play some D. Good clutch, 8, 7 pass. He's an overrated player in this game, but hey, take advantage of it. And then on the bench, you got Steve Smith. Rice and Steve Smith, they're a combo. These guys were both young in their careers, but later on, Smith was the star on the Atlanta Hawks, and Glenn Rice was a star on the Charlotte Hornets. So these guys are actually pretty similar in skill. I'd say Rice is a better 3-point shooter, but Steve Smith is good all the way through, except for power. He's only a 2. He's got a 7 speed, 8 dunk, 6 block, 7 steal, 7 pass, 8 clutch, and a solid 6 3-pointer. Miami's obviously a team I would use in the tournament. Just be ready for not being able to push guys and steal the ball that easily. Yeah. Yep, Glenn Rice is a beast. New Jersey Nets. Derek Coleman is a monster. 7 speed, 7 threes. He's a big power forward. The other thing about Miami, all these guys are at the regular height. None of them are small, so that's going to be good for your advantage. On the Nets, Kenny Anderson's slower, but Derek Coleman, like I said, he's got an 8 dunk, 8 block, 8 clutch, 9 power. Kenny Anderson is got your speed and 3-point shooting, 7 steals. So I like him as a shorter player. And then you got Edwards on the bench. He's going to also be a shorter player. I don't know how he got the 9 power, but he does, even though he's a shorter guy, so he'll be able to push guys around. But he's only a 6 speed for a shorter guy and 4 3-point shooting. The Nets are a fringe tournament team, I would say, because they have 2 short guys. I mean, Derek Coleman's awesome and Kenny Anderson's pretty good, but whenever you got 2 short guys, it's going to be tough to block and clutch moments. Yep, one went to Michigan, one went to Michigan State. Steve Smith, Glenn Rice. New York Knicks, a muscle team in this game, especially with this starting lineup. Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, they'll rough you up a little bit. Patrick Ewing is a 7 speed, 8 power. He's a 4 3-pointer, so you can hit him once in a while. 9 dunk, 9 block, 9 clutch. He's just a force. Charles Oakley's slow. He's only a 3 speed. He's horrible at 3. He's only a 1. 9 in power. He'll be able to push guys right over. And an 8 blocks. So this is a defensive team. And then on the bench, you got Starks. Starks will stay at your normal height, even though he wasn't that tall of a player. But 8 speed, 8 3-pointers. So he makes up for the team's weaknesses. He's only a 2 power, but who cares? The other 2 guys have plenty of power. 7 dunk for Starks. So Starks is great for 3s and dunking. So he's another perfect NBA Jam player. Knicks are tournament ready. Be ready to play them. The Orlando Magic. This is a favorite team of a lot of people in this game, and they are a good one. You got Penny Hardaway. He's super fast, 9 speed. He's going to be at your normal height. So is Grant. So is Nick Anderson. He's at 8 speed or 8 3-pointers, 3 dunk. That should be higher for Penny Hardaway. He's a better dunker than that. 8 passing, only a 2 power, 7 steal. And then Horace Grant makes up for the power discrepancy. He's a 9 power. He'll be throwing guys around. He's a 9 block, 8 dunk. And he's got a solid 6 speed, so he's a defensive force. He'll be wearing those goggles on the court, too. Yep, the Knicks are a tough team. I agree with that. And then you got Nick Anderson from Illinois coming off the bench. 7 3-pointers, 9 3-pointers, sorry. 7 speed, 6 power, 8 steal. He really doesn't have a weakness besides for his clutch. And we know that's true based off what he did in the 94-95 finals, missing some key free throws in game 1. And the Magic never recovered from that. With 4 clutch, it's still respectable. Nick Anderson's a great player in this game. So, yeah, the Magic are tournament ready. Philadelphia 76ers. Sean Bradley, unfortunately, because there's only 2 heights, he doesn't get a huge height advantage of being 7'6". But he's got a 3 speed, 3 points, only a 3, 9 dunk, 5 power. Sean Bradley's not too good. He'll help you out with dunking and blocking, but that's about it. He's slow. Clarence Weatherspoon, he's not too fast, but he's got an 8 power, 8 block, so you got some solid D with these guys, at least blocking. He's only a 6 3-pointer. And then on the bench, you got Jeff Malone. Jeff Malone's pretty good at about everything. But his power, or he's actually average at about everything, I should say. But he's a solid guy to bring in off the bench. I would say these guys are all at normal height. I would say they're a fringe tournament team. I wouldn't use them. They're too slow. 3 speed, 6 speed, 5 speed's not going to get it done. So I would skip them if you're playing in the tournament. And then the Washington Bullets, this is a team that I really like in this game. Chris Webber is another superstar monster player in this game. 8 speed, 9 power, 8 dunk, 8 block. That's great for NBA Jam. He's still a solid 4 3-pointers. And then Calbert Chaney, good thing he's got that normal height, just like Chris Webber. He's at 8 speed, 8 3-pointers, 8 clutch. Loving that. He's just not as powerful. But he's got a 7 steal, so he can make up for that there. And then on the bench, you have Scott Skiles, coach of multiple teams in the NBA. All-time leader in single game with assists with 30. Scott Skiles, he's got the attributes you need for a smaller player. Fast enough, 7 speed, 9 3-pointers, so you can bring him off the bench and hit those threes. 8 steal, and 7 pass. That should probably be higher for Scott Skiles. He was known for his passing. the Bullets are a tournament-ready team. So we went through the entire roster of NBA Jam, not the extended roster. Maybe we'll do that at some other time. So I'm just going to play a game. And what team should I be here? There's a lot of good teams in this game. I like Chris Webber, but Hornets are always good. If I have my preference, I would be a team that has all 3 regular-sized players. So the Magic are always good because Grant can fill in for that power weakness. The Knicks I like. Houston's also good. New Jersey Nets, like I said, 2 small players, not liking them so much. I like using the Bulls because they're a hometown team. So I think, and I'll give the chat maybe another 30 seconds to see if they have a request for what team I use in this game. The computer's going to be very hard, so we're just going to see how that turns out. But I'm leaning towards Miami, to be honest. I got tag mode on. I like Miami's speed. I could deal with them not having the best power. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with Miami, and I'm just going to start with Rice and Harold Miner. I feel good about bringing any guy in, so we're going with the Miami Heat. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. A mirror match? This is not what I want to play. Oh, I hate mirror matches. I'm tempted to reset it. I don't want to mess up the stream either, so I'll just play through it. I'll give you this mirror match. So I guess that's a good question for the Segathon.com tournament, if they're going to allow mirror matches or not. I personally don't like them, but I mean, it can't be more even than a mirror match. So we got Rice and Miner versus Rice and Miner. And Glenn Rice isn't hitting the threes. So tag mode's something you can't use when you're playing on the arcade cabinet, but it was a great addition to the console game so you could control both players. You still can't switch on defense, but that's alright. So I don't really know what to expect as far as skill level in NBA Jam. I've never really played in a console version tournament. That wasn't like something that I just threw together when I was younger, tournament at my house or something. So we'll see how that goes, but I can't miss an opportunity for an NBA Jam TE tournament, especially when I'm going to Madison, Wisconsin anyways to play in the Tecmo Super Bowl tournament. So it's 14-9. Jump shot pass. They're going with Rice and Miner. So you see the injury at the bottom, the last attribute. So my guys are both at 1, so I could take out either of them. I'm going to go with Glenn Rice and Smith. The reason I'm doing that is because I want Rice to be in the fourth quarter, so he's going to get rested in the third and come in fresh for the fourth. So since I'm playing a mirror match versus Miami, they're not going to have a power advantage versus me. And there are different versions of the Genesis controller. So I'm the Miami that's winning. It's 14-11. There's the 6 button and the 3. You only need the 3 to play. I prefer the 3. I know my brother that's playing with me prefers the 6. But it's not obviously going to make a difference because there's no shoulder buttons on it. So, oh, I knew they were going to pick that up. Getting those blocks. If I had to describe my play style in NBA Jam, it would be dunk first, 3 second, but I like to penetrate. Alright, we got a message from the chat. They said that they would use Bullets, Bulls, Celtics, Heat, Hornets, Jazz, Knicks, Magic, Nets, Pacers, Spurs, Suns, Supersonics. Yeah, that's a pretty good list there. I don't know if I would use the Nets, but you could get away with using them. I wonder if they could have made this with 3 heights. I think that would be more. I mean, it's not like NBA Jam's a realistic basketball game, but I think that would better have suited the game because you got guards and small forwards the same height as centers. I think a center height would have been cool. Ooh, he shot that over me. 0.1, not going to get a shot off. It's not too hard, honestly, on very hard through 2 quarters. I'm more worried about the 4th quarter. That's when it's going to get real. So, I'm on the left side. Glenn Rice is doing it. And I'm using my computer player a little bit, but I'm controlling him too. So Rice actually has less injuries, but I'm still going to go with Minor and Steve Smith. Tell you some NBA Jam stories. So I had this game when I was younger on the Super Nintendo. I remember I got the original one for my birthday. The thing that frustrated me about the original one is you had to put in a password to get your record back, and it never worked for me. So basically, the only way I could beat the game is I had to put it on very fast, the speed, and just play through it one day. And if you know NBA Jam, at the end of the games, it could screw you over. So, there were some losses that I were pissed about because obviously you play that many games at once. You want to limit how many games you lose. So I did that one day just to see myself as the grand champion. If I had a camera back then, I probably should have took a picture of it. But that's one thing I did. I also remember one time me and my friend down the block, Joe McCullough, we played the game to see how many overtimes we could go to. So we were just purposely scoring the same amount of points at the end of each quarter. And I think what it stopped on was quadruple overtime. I'm pretty sure. And then after that, it just said overtime. So it would go past, the game would actually go past that period, but it wouldn't say quintuple overtime and whatever else it would say after that. So we got a close game. And the key to NBA Jam when you're playing the computer is just keep the game close going into the 4th quarter. Because it's going to be all about that 4th quarter. And the players don't seem too aggressive, honestly. I'm surprised. I'm very hard. Maybe it'll just have me missing shots. But so far, so good. It actually hasn't been that frustrating. But, see, if that was the end of the 4th quarter, that would have been a typical Jam way to end the game. Just an underhand Hail Mary 3 to win. So I'm going to be playing tough this quarter. And I'm going to keep Harold Miner in. We're going with the original #1 roster. And here we go. Computer's got a 3-point lead right now. I don't want to get into a 3-point shooting game yet. I'll see if I can get some steals, maybe get on fire. That's the best strategy, honestly. If you could get on fire in the fourth quarter and then start goaltending without a penalty, it's going to be huge. Huge block there. So I'm going to go for on fire here. If I can get it in with Glenn Rice, there we go. I'm on fire. So I can goaltend without penalty. And I got a steal there. Still want to try to steal the ball when you're on fire. So we got a 6-point lead. And they pushed me in. No, oh, where the hell am I? Yeah, so it's tough to keep the fire going against the computer. They pushed me and took advantage. Glenn Rice dunking it home. And I really like the speed of the guys on the Heat. The speed is going to be very useful getting around your defenders because they're going to be trying to push you all over the place. And with the speed, without there being any kind of special dribbling skill, you're going to need the speed to just, juke around and get around the defenders. Harold Miner, baby Jordan. Oh man, I walked into it. I walked into a double team right there. It's not what you want to do at the end of the game. Computer's not going to be missing too much more. If I can hit one more shot, it should be alright. Alright, 6-point lead. And here, 5 seconds. Oh wow, they stole it. I was just trying to chuck it up, but the computer pushed at the end of the game. Still got the 4-point win. I know, I would have went with Rice and Steve Smith for the fourth, but Steve Smith had more injuries. So, have I ever played Honky D Slime? Yes, I've played him in this game. I'm usually the victor. I'm going to try to win the tournament. I got to get my brother over here a few more times to get him ready. I want him to be comfortable handling the ball because the way it works, if you need both guys to be able to juke around their defenders, because if you rely on one guy to do that all the time, then your opponents are going to pick up on it and they're just going to ambush the guy who's dribbling up the court. So once we get him ready for that, we should be in good shape because my brother's good at defense on this game. But Glenn Rice, 40 points, 10 steals, 11 blocks. That gives him a triple-double. Not the traditional way with points, steals, and blocks. You only have 4 assists, 0 rebounds. Sometimes it's tough to get rebounds in this game. So yeah, it was a mirror match. I wish it wasn't, but took care of the Heat. That actually was not as hard as I remember it playing on very hard. So, I have spent a lot of time playing these games. This is probably second to Tecmo Super Bowl in my book as far as time being put into a single video game. So I should be in good shape for the tournament. So, just to recap. We got a Segathon.com tournament in Madison, Wisconsin. It's called Friday Night Retro. It's April 7th, I think, starting at 6 p.m. High Noon Saloon is the name of it. 2-on-2 tournament. I think you could just show up and enter. I don't think there's it's not like a full house like the 292 players in the Tecmo Super Bowl tournament. So I hope you enjoyed this roster breakdown. If I did make mistakes on players' names or if certain guys are taller or shorter, please correct them in the comments. I just want to share the knowledge with everybody so that they're ready to play this game competitively. And we'll see how it goes. I'm ready to see just, how good the other players are, especially playing this 2-on-2. So thanks for checking out the stream. I could do more roster breakdowns of the NBA arcade games for sure. And just, I'll do it with other sports games. You know that. So thanks for tuning in. Talk to you guys later.